All right, I'm here. 11:38 p.m. It's Sunday, March 6th, 2022. I know I always start off like that. Anyway, so sorry I was a little late. I got updates. Those are big shows. Oh, wait, sorry. Actually, I'm going to share something from my phone a little bit later. Okay, so no COVID updates today. So a lot of stuff it's gonna be on the Twitch VODs. What I found out was YouTube blocked one of my videos, the most recent, the previous stream. It was blocked, and it has some really good info in it. All because Telemundo said, "Oh, you're doing a reaction video on Caso Cerrado." Nope, no. But like, I don't understand. I'm not stealing it. I'm just saying, here, let's watch, give some exposure, maybe get some more ratings, make more viewers, so you make Doctora Polo happy. But no, they want like block that video. I don't want to see it. And then so I had to put it as unlisted, and so I decided to download the video to the laptop, and I'm gonna see if I can get one. I don't know if my laptop has a video editor. So what I'll do is I would edit it. I would take out the Caso Cerrado part, or you know what? Let me tell you this. So I'll just put only the COVID in the subways. Okay, so that will be public, and then for the unlisted one, if you want to see the Caso Cerrado reaction video and my Jose Luis Sin Censura one, all the fights and los golpes and all that stuff, then I'll give you the link. Okay, you DM me on Instagram. It's right over here. Well, Goldine, right here. See all that? Make it very easy. Okay, so it sucks, but hey, it is what it is. So if you missed the previous stream, it's on VODs. It'll be there, I think, for a little less than 2 weeks, I guess. Okay, it's 2 weeks from that Friday. So I guess you have 12 days left as of March 6th, 2022. Okay, so today we're going to actually do a review on Twitch. And I actually did the review in detail earlier on Instagram, but I like to make it a little bit more intimate and you actually get to see the pictures and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's do it. If that makes sense. No, that's later. Oh, it's live videos. Okay, let's see if this works now. My bad. I wonder what that is. It's there we go. Okay. Things happen. Sorry. Okay, so always have technical issues. Anyway, I'm human. I'm human. So yesterday, so March 5th, I went to the BX comic show, or Bronx comic book show rather, and I didn't realize this is actually their second year of doing it. I think it was last year, but it wasn't really last year. Well, yeah, it is technically last year, but according to Rosa Vasquez, one of my friends who runs Tokyo Bronx ACG, which you see over there, because she's part of making this event, and I think she was one of the judges as well for the cosplay contest. So she took part of it in, I think it was in November. I think it was on a Saturday, but it was on day 2 of Anime NYC, and that's why she couldn't make it to NYC on one of the days, because she's actually one of the people running this. So at least that's what she told me. So this is the second time they're holding this, and very special because it's in the Bronx, and I'll explain. And on Instagram, I did not give it a score. Usually for cons, I give a score on a range from 1 to 10. If it gets really bad, it would be a 0, but it's really close to impossible to get to zero, one, or two. You have to really, really do a shitty job. Excuse my French. Okay, in order to get that low of a score. At the same token, it's extremely hard to get a score of a 10. I have never given an event or a con a 10 out of 10. I've given a 9.5 in some instances, one of which is a con that no longer exists called Liberty City Animecon. I don't know what happened to it. I think it so it was a small con that grew and then all of a sudden fizzled out all because of leadership going on. So if you've went to Liberty City, you know what I'm talking about. So one of the one of the leaders of it, or actually one of the organizers rather, which I won't say his name, is a freaking pedophile, and that's how it went to it. So now, so again, it's not there's no score because it's not a full con. But either way, a any event for geeks and nerds and gamers, and for those who love comics, for those who love anime, love all the nerdy stuff and the celebrities and all the artwork and all that stuff. Hey, you know better than nothing. Okay, especially in the Bronx where I barely see any. Okay, I think this is the only one that I know of that I'm aware of. Okay, I mean, I don't live in the Bronx, I live in Queens. Okay, all the surrounding areas, New Jersey, Manhattan, obviously, Manhattan has a lot of cons. Okay, Queens has a con. Brooklyn has a couple cons here and there. Staten Island has a con. Okay, Goasi, which I've done a review as well. Connecticut has a con. New Jersey has a con. Even Westchester has a con. But not the Bronx. So it's about time the Bronx finally gets on the map. The geek map, or the nerd map, so to speak. Very, very important. So, despite not being a full con, either way, it's a great event. Okay, we need more of these in the Bronx. Okay, and it's more like an artist alley and dealer's room, or some people will call it expo hall or merchant hall. So there'll be these vendors, and they'll be selling stuff, artwork, comics, Funko Pops. Okay, I was cold blooded. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. So, just I forgot to introduce myself. I always forget to do this to introduce myself. So I'm Dean, or my handle is Wild Goldine over here. I have to go the opposite, and I'm an educational streamer. And I usually do COVID updates. I'll do healthcare, medical related presentations. I did a few mental health presentations here and there. I do mostly COVID stuff. Since we are going into an endemic, I'm gonna do more health stuff. It's gonna be a little less than COVID, but I'm still gonna monitor COVID anyway. And then there's all these respiratory viruses and all that stuff. I also do subways, which I will do later today for this stream. I'm also do con reviews. I do the cosplay. I do cosplay. I do cosplay on Twitch, just not right now. I did cosplay yesterday at this event, and also I do reaction videos. I actually every Friday I do something called Wild After Dark, and Después de Anochecer. Okay, and because of doing that, I guess Telemundo went blocked it. But like, come on, like seriously. So, just a side note, Después de Anochecer, the reason why I call it that means after dark in Spanish. It's just so I watch something that's 18 plus and it's in Spanish, it's so raunchy and there's drama and all that stuff. I'm probably gonna put other stuff that makes me laugh as well. I may put some Mad TV here and there and some funny anime stuff for Después de Anochecer, for Wild After Dark. But that's only on Fridays. Because on Sunday, and I do mainly Sunday and Friday streams. Reason why I don't do it on Sunday for After Dark stuff and reaction videos is because I have to go to work tomorrow. Okay, and some people may be asking why not do it on Saturdays. I'm thinking about it, but Saturdays I tend to be busy because I have to help a friend. Okay, and also during cons, I usually don't stream. I may consider streaming, but it's going to be one of those IRL in real life streams. I'll do it on my phone. Okay, for some reason, I'm not big with Instagram, doing Instagram lives. Okay, I don't know because there's some people where they start criticizing or something like that. I don't know. Me, I have a feeling. I feel more with Twitch, especially since I have this overlay. See this, all this black signs with the black with white lines rather, and all that stuff. I made this by myself on MS Paint. See where I put the circles on that. I don't know who lives in New York City here. This one is actually inspired from my subway station that's 10 minutes from my house. So that's how they do the signs. Okay, in some way, but it's a little variation of it. Okay, I digress. But anyway, but I digress. So continuing on, I want to give a special thanks to Tokyo Bronx ACG, aka Rosa Vasquez, who is one of the organizers. Yasu Collectibles, who I think sent a DM just now, so I apologize. Lone Wolf Comics, and specifically her name is JC. Like I gave her a hug, like thank you. She was telling me thank you so much for promoting. I'm like, you're welcome because you know what we need you need that kind of exposure, connections, and all that for this con to grow. Okay, because if the con cannot grow, the con will not survive. Simple as that. Okay, it needs the money, of course, to grow. And I want to thank all the vendors and attendees, okay, for attending because without people, the con wouldn't exist either. Very simple as that. I know it sounds obvious, okay? Don't forget about DashCon, okay? That's one of the worst. So it's almost hard to replicate what happened with DashCon. I may look into it. We'll see. But it was only I think it was held 2014 if I remember correctly, and that was a disaster. There are YouTube videos on that. Oh, well, that was weird. Okay, so this is nice, but the lights on the top is really very. This is really nice, but it's a ballroom in the Bronx. I think the lights kind of skewed the color a little bit. It's not that blue, so to speak. It's a little bit more white, but sometimes the cameras can make mistakes too. But that's the feel of it. So I don't have the map for it, but I think you may have an idea from this picture. The walkway where the traffic is in the shape of a number zero. It's like a an oval donut. Okay, so on the outside of the walking space, as you'll see here, it's lined up by vendors, and then there's also vendors in the middle. Okay, it's hiding here, but in this area, if it were a ballroom, and if there's gonna be like a wedding reception, this area is where you'll have the wine and the drinks and all that stuff. But that wasn't operational at the time of that event. Okay, so that's me as Aizawa over here. There I am. So, yep, that's me. This guy won first place. His name is Jason Talbot. I don't know who this person is. He won third place. This person, forgot his first name. I just know his last name, Montoya. He won second place. I think it was 100. He won $100. I think this is 60, and this is $25. And then they get their artwork. So, whether I win or lose, the most important thing in a cosplay contest is to have fun, and just the fact that you participate, you give it your all. That's good enough. And it was just only 5 adults, all guys, who uh, who went in there. I know there are. It's weird because I think there are more adults who actually did cosplay. I'm surprised that they weren't in the picture. Anyway, so the great thing about it, this is the good, the positives. It's free. It's free. You don't see a lot of free stuff. You don't see a lot of free events. That's amazing. Okay, so because it's free, you get this healthy turnout. That's why you'll see in the picture here, you get a good amount of people. There's actually going to be more pictures of the con venue as well with all the tables and all that stuff. So you'll see here. All right, it's a lot of people, good healthy turnout. I mean the not a lot like compared to New York Comic Con. I don't mean that. I mean in terms of the space that they have. And I have a little bit of an issue with the with a venue, just a teeny bit. Okay, so based on the picture that I showed you earlier, and then there's gonna be more pictures that I'm gonna show you. It's a pretty good amount of vendors and merch to buy, and a lot of Funko Pops too, and they're all expensive. They range in prices. There was one that was Giyu Tomioka, so this guy, my favorite. All right, so you're always gonna see my buddy over here, and so his one was $35. I bought mine online. Thank you, Josh. I think he's Friendly Gamer B. I keep forgetting people's Twitch handles and Instagram handles and Twitter handles and all that. I'm so sorry, but Friendly Gamer B, please follow him. He's an amazing streamer. He's a gamer and all that. He's new. Okay, let's get him affiliated. Okay, not just me. Let's all get affiliated. Okay, so now good again, good amount of vendors and merch. I felt as though that all the vendors, and this is my opinion from what I'm seeing, because I went through a couple rounds around that donut, so to speak. I feel as though they're all small businesses, which is great. Sometimes we may need some bigger vendors here and there, just maybe at least one, just so get not only increase the turnout, but also maybe since they have all the money and all that stuff, you get something you get something out of it. Well, that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not an organizer for the con, but I'm just saying. However you want to organize it, as long as you keep the con healthy and a fun and safe place for everyone. So, those small vendors, they keep things local and diverse, and boy, they need all the help that they can get, because during the pandemic, since they thrive on in-person sales and in-person interaction, they for the past couple of years or so, a lot of events have been canceled because we don't want to get sick, we don't want to get the virus, and they've struggled. They deserve it. Having an event like this. So as I said, there's a cosplay contest. I think that should be a sign that this con needs to grow. Okay, but hey, this is the second time they're holding this kind of event. So patience, and I wish the best of luck for this con. I said this many times. Needs more events like these in the Bronx, maybe even bigger with more amenities. Have similar amenities as New York Comic Con or Anime NYC, the big cons, like panels, for example, all those things. Very, very important. And also, what's even more important for me personally, that it's convenient via public transit. Although you have to walk a little bit. So, it's about a 10-minute walk from the D train on a Tremont Avenue. So, I was lucky enough to get a bus, but it saved me about 5 minutes, which is, I mean, if 5 minutes is a big deal, great, but it depends on the person, right? So if you're coming from the 4 train, maybe you should consider taking the bus to get there because it's a little farther from the 4 train. It's closest to the Metro North station. I think it was I forgot which I think it's Trem I think it is Tremont also. I have to take a look at that. But the only issue is that the Metro North the Metro North is much more expensive, and the farther you travel in Metro North, the more you have to pay. I'm just double checking right now because I don't want to get the information wrong. It is yes, it is Tremont. I was right. Okay, so yep, by public transit, it's convenient. So parking when it comes to driving, I couldn't find a lot of parking anyway. But it's New York City. It's very hard to find parking anyway. All right. So this is another look at the event at the so I think what gives it that extra kind of like nice looking like sparkle is the decorations. Oh look, there's a chandelier. I didn't even realize it. There's a chandelier here. And then you have these little Christmas decorations. It looks nice. But either way, this venue is pretty small. I mean, you have space to move around, but you can't social distance here. And you may see a few people not wearing masks. Look at all those Funko Pops. Look at that. You know, this will get you to go bankrupt. I actually this is the Giyu Tomioka here that I want. All right, and then oh, sorry. And then this is the drink section that's not operational. All right, and then more Funko Pops. Look at that. Oh, there's an Aizawa one actually, but this is the sleeping bag version of it. All right, so there are negatives. No con is perfect. Okay, there's always gonna be problems. Even if I give you a 9.5, you that means there are problems, but that's okay. It happens, especially for a young event like this. All right, there's a. I think all cons have room to grow anyway. I think usually the bigger ones tend to have even more, in my opinion. So despite the nice venue, it was too small and it was packed. And there was a lack of food and water inside and outside the venue. Not a lot of food places to go. I saw one. It was like a chicken. It looked like one of those Kennedy Fried Chickens, but I'm not sure if that's really Kennedy Fried Chicken. I don't recall. You know, I went. So I have my friend Ash and I went to Burger King, and you know, and I was surprised. I wanted to get a salad. I couldn't find the salad. I ended up just having a drink. Sorry. I was so surprised. Let me do a side note here. I I don't I hope not to offend anyone, but the Bronx needs some healthier choices. Okay, I see a lot of bodegas. I'm not saying that healthier that there aren't any. I think there should be more. Okay, I struggled looking for healthier food, but a lot of stuff I just see the fast food, and you know we need some healthier options. Okay, very very important. Okay, because if you don't eat right, it's gonna affect your health. It's as simple as that. I know it sounds logical and it sounds so obvious, but there needs to be some healthier options. And even if there's not a lot of food, at least have a lot of water. At least have like a few places where people like one of the I forgot what it's called. Shoot, but it's those big gallon of that are a few gallons of water. Like you just pour it in. You have those paper cups and all that. Okay, for me, I always bring a water bottle with me. If I run out, I can always use those water stations and refill my 1.5 liter water bottle. Very important. Even if it's a small con, for some reason I get dehydrated. So I need to drink I need to drink a lot of fluids. And it's good too because I also work out as well. So another thing is some people were not wearing masks. Even one person in particular, which I won't say. But it's not just that one person. There's several people who weren't wearing masks. Seriously, I understand the COVID metrics and the indicators, they're heading in the right direction. Hospitalizations are going down, deaths are going down, cases are going down. I know people are tired of it. They're saying, oh, I don't care the cases. Well, cases have something importance, okay? Transmission or positivity rate is going down. I understand. People are still getting COVID. Just because, okay, it's 12:04 a.m., so the key to NYC mask and vaccine mandates, it's suspended. And that doesn't mean that COVID goes away. That's not how it works. Okay, that means we have low transmission. Okay, you can just because the transmission rate is like around below 2%. That doesn't mean it's 0%. There's still a chance that you can get it. And I don't mean to fearmonger or scare anyone. Okay, but don't get too complacent because just like with seasonal flu, you know, with those seasons that go here and there, you may get surges, and I'm still watching that anyway. Okay. Also, the at the time, because it's on its final days of the key to NYC vaccine mandate, there were, I if there's no I can understand there's no vaccine requirement, but still, at least you got to do the masks because in that event the vaccine status is unknown. You can't assume that all of them are vaccinated. Just because the majority are vaccinated, there's still going to be those few unvaccinated who may spread it, especially if they're asymptomatic. Okay. So very important that we have to have these at least some form of health screenings. Okay. So this is when it's at its really crowded. It's a lot of people. It's a great turnout, which is I love it. It's very good. Increase the amount of connections. Great. Okay. It's just we don't want it to be a super spreader. That's why you have to wear a mask. Oh wait, I see one person not wearing a mask here. Uh-oh. Okay. Also going back, this person's not wearing a yeah, this person, I don't think this person's wearing a mask. Anyway, so verdict. As I said, having a con is badly needed in the Bronx, and I hope there's more in the future. I was speaking with a friend after the event who is planning to organize a con, and he wants to do it for this year. But I think realistically, maybe we're gonna probably do it for next year. We'll see. It's gonna start out small. I mean, almost all cons start out small, unless if you're Anime NYC. When in 2017 you had like what, almost 20,000 people on its inaugural run. Anyway, that's beside the point. So my friend is going to needs to do the organization of it, and he's planning to, I think, do a con. I think it's somewhere in BX Start. I think it's they have it's a nice open room. I went there for one of the events. That's how I met my friend. So hopefully at least they can start there, and then they can grow from it, and hopefully I'm available to go there, and then I do the review. So as I said, consider expanding from a comic book show, which is just basically merchant hall, dealer's room, artist alley, into a full con and add these amenities. Okay, so in the future, consider having a similar amount of that as large cons, but on a local, smaller, and more affordable scale for Bronx residents and beyond. Uh, and it's going to be made mainly by those in the Bronx. We want to put some representation there. Consider adding more, such as panels, gaming. I was told gaming was there last year in the last event, but the person who did the gaming didn't make it, you know. And my recommendation, yes, I definitely recommend this con, especially if you're new to it. That will get you, a good idea of what an actual con is. Even though it's not fully a con, it'll get you there. You know, I've been going to cons since 2016. Okay, it was starting out with Sakura Matsuri. That's not a con. It's a cherry blossom festival, but it has the aspects of a con. That's why I would give it a score, because they have a stage, they have the vendors, they have panels on the stage, and then there's a few smaller stages there in the Brooklyn Botanic Garden and other things. And then there's cosplay, of course, but it doesn't have to be cosplay. Like, that can make it a con. You don't have to be cosplay to attend a con, but a lot of people do anyway. So if you prefer smaller cons or events, this is an event for you. Okay, even if it's packed and with a pretty good turnout compared to the other cons I've gone to, this is pretty small. And if the venue if they do find a bigger venue, that means even more people, and that's gonna really benefit the vendors, and more importantly, benefit you, the con organizers, because you get that turnout, especially if you charge them at a certain price. You make money out of it, and then and the con survives. And of course, you're going to need the money to, pay out to rent out the room or the space rather, and all that. And if you like comics and artwork, and I just showed you, see this, see a lot of this, see all this artwork over here, a lot. I was going through it, and it's just there's too much to see. There's a lot to see. So yes, if it's not perfect, I really really recommend this con. Okay, or this event rather. So I'm going through my phone because I received. Wait, my phone is. What's going on here? Okay, so the reason why is because I got a DM from one of the organizers. Wait, I love to watch gamers play and give you oh, I actually gonna get a follow from Yasu Collectible. So they're one of the organizers of this con. So anyway, I give a like there. Okay, so now, so what I did was it began like this. I told them it was nice meeting you at BX Comic Book Show. I told JC, who runs both the Lone Wolf Comics and the event. Well, one of the ones organizing the event. And I told her I was going to do a review on Instagram and Twitch. Of course, we're in Twitch, of course. And I informed her that I'm not going to give a score. So, and what I was going to do was tell them was do a review, an honest, impartial, thorough review on it. And she loved it. So she said to me, and I quote, "I just read the post, and you did point out a few details that I did overlook, and I will not make any excuses. I should have been on top of these details. I will address those details with better care next time. The fact of that people not using masks, you are right. The food and water, also right. And that we need a bigger place, 100% on point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get two managers to cover those bases for me, because I did pay two security guards to tell people they must use masks. But I guess since no one was checking on the guards, they didn't address it. But if I have my two managers to make sure everyone is doing their job right, everything should be running great, at least close enough. I do appreciate your thoughts, and it will be a great place for everyone to have fun and come together as a big family. Just for the record, we did have video the first time we did the show, and it was a good attraction. But the guy who did the video games could not make it this time. Thank you so much. So I responded, "Thank you so much for the feedback. Also, I see potential for this to grow. Either way, organizing and holding an event is never an easy task. I see this as a success, this event, of course. There's always room to grow, regardless of how big a con or event is. I look forward to more events in the future, and you know I will review them. Trust me, if I attend them, I will review them after the con, of course. So during the con, I'll just take the notes. My goal is to not only let people know that the con/event is there, but also to help cons and events to improve so attendees can have a great safe time." She responded, "I did like your review on the show. And yes, holding an event is not easy and I have no experience." Wow. But hey, she's not the only one running this. So, you can't run a con by yourself. Okay, you need multiple people. You need a team, so to speak, which is obvious. I only have one show experience with last night's show. With last night's show, it's my second, so I could only get better with time. And with friends like you, thank you. And I actually showed her a few other examples of the reviews I've done. So I did Katsucon review of this year, did Anime NYC 2021, I did Near Comic Con 2021. And so just to have an idea of what to plan for the next event. And they're very, very detailed. So, and remember, keep in mind, as I said before, I'm going to emphasize this again. I do con reviews because not only relieves stress, and not only that it's one of my treatment options for treating my con blues and my con depression, but it's also to reflect and to put the cons, at least, give them that exposure, let people know, hey, those cons or events exist, and also to what was it? I think it's getting late because I'm getting sleepy now. And more importantly, what did I say? I just blanked out. I had a brain fart. Oh boy. It's coming. It's coming to my brain. So, holy moly. What did I say? Oh, yeah, so my goal is not to only let people know that the cons and events exist, but it's also to help the cons or events improve. Okay, so when they see something that's going on, they can fix it for the next event. And that way, when there's improvement and when people like it, they'll tell other people that, hey, I like it. I have positive feedback for it, and then more people will come, and it snowballs. I am so sorry about my brain fart. I feel so embarrassed. It's live. Oh boy. But hey, I'm human. See? I'm pretty transparent about it. Okay. Without further ado, we're gonna get to the subways. Okay. So this is only gonna be mainly for the subways because I'm still getting information. I still have to look at the information for Long Island Railroad and Metro North. I don't see a lot with Metro North for some reason. New Jersey Transit, I don't see a lot of that either. Path, not too much. You see more with the weekends. But with the Path, you should already know that the 23rd Street and 9th Street stations, they're closed 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. simply because if they're going to clean something or whatnot. But that's only for late nights. Okay, so there, and also before, like, the reason why you had to wait for more than I think 8 minutes or so is because I actually got new information on the subways that that I received at the last minute. For It's weird because I get the information earlier this afternoon, but I didn't get. But because I've been so busy, I didn't get the chance to do to finish the the second round of going over it on the website because it changes all the time. It's crazy. But anyway, here it is. So this is ongoing, right? This is what we're gonna do. You should know already that the 2 and 3 trains skip Clark Street. Okay, so now next thing, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Some of the northbound 4 trains will be express between 167th Street and Burnside Avenue, and those that skip those 3 stations, 170th Mount Eden and 176th Street, it will stop at Burnside Avenue and not go any further than that. It's actually gonna make a U-turn and go back to Manhattan. The next one, this is also ongoing, 9:45 a.m. to 3 p.m. Northbound 4 skips Moshlu Parkway. We're gonna go back to the nights. 10:45 p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday through Friday. So the northbound 4 train skips 138th Street Grand Concourse. Next thing, this we're gonna go back to the daytime. Tuesday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The 6th train is local in the Bronx. I think they're gonna change this. I'm gonna actually monitor this one. You know how it is with the New York City subway, always unpredictable. Next thing, we're gonna switch back to nighttime. We're actually gonna go to 7 train again. So just as a reminder, no 7 trains between Queensboro Plaza and 34th Street Hudson Yards. The 42nd Street shuttle will run. The bus will run between 34th Street and Times Square 42nd Street. And there's a bus between Queensboro Plaza and Vernon Boulevard Jackson Avenue. The next thing, we go to the Bronx again. Northbound D trains express between 145th Street and Tremont Avenue. And I went on it during the weekend, and it was freaking slow as molasses. Holy moly. All because they're doing the track work, especially in this area. I saw all like they were taking out the bottom part of the railroad, the wood stuff, whatever those things are. I forgot what the name is. So they had to fix that. The next one is okay, the path I talked about already, because the other two I have here are only for weekends, so I'm gonna skip that one. I will talk about that one this Friday night. Okay, daytime. We go to Brooklyn. All right. Southbound B and Q will stop at Avenue U and Neck Road, but northbound B and Q will skip those 2 stops. Next one, on the N train, northbound N is express between Queensboro Plaza and Astoria Boulevard. So it'll skip 39, 36 Avenues, 30th Avenue, and Broadway. Also, W train will reroute. So it'll run from Whitehall Street, local, and then after 57th 7th Avenue, instead of going to Astoria, it's going to go on the Q train to the 2nd Avenue line to 96th Street. Next thing is L train splits at Broadway Junction. If I remember correctly, and plus the frequencies could change, because this is New York, don't forget, between Broadway Junction and 8th Avenue, I believe it's around every 8 minutes. And then between Broadway Junction and Canarsie Rockaway Parkway, it's every 24 painful minutes, because it's going to be single tracking if I'm on, and it's going to be using only the Manhattan bound track, so that's the westbound track. And then they're going to do work on the eastbound track. That's the daytime. Nighttime, a lot of it is for fast track and quite a quite a handful on my train, on the A train. So most of them will be from 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. A train is very complicated because for the most part, starting 9:30 p.m., most of the A train will be going local with some exceptions, and then the C train will be taken out, as you'll see here. A couple exceptions will be southbound A trains will be expressed between 59th Street and Canal. Oops, 59th Street and Canal. So we'll skip 50th, 23rd, and Spring Streets. Next one, westbound A trains express, and this one is a new one. I just got this one. Will be expressed between Euclid and Utica. But it will stop at Broadway Junction. It will skip Shepherd, Van Cyclin, Liberty, Rockaway Avenue, Ralph Avenue. Okay. Southbound E train skips 23rd and Spring Streets. And then there's no F train between J. Okay, wait. Yes, there's no F train between J Street Metrotech and where is it? Church Avenue. There. So a bus will run between J Street and Church Avenue, but it'll also make a stop at Hoyt Schermerhorn Streets. Next thing is there's no G train south of that, so you have to transfer to a bus. No G train south of Hoyt Schermerhorn, so no G between that Hoyt and Church. Next thing is no J trains west of Essex Street, Delancey Street, Essex Street. So J train will not run between Delancey, Essex, and Broad Street. In addition to that, M train will start going between Metropolitan and Myrtle starting 9:30 p.m. So it's gonna be truncated pretty early. Also, northbound N is via the Q train rather between Atlantic. So we'll stop at DeKalb, go on the Q, and go to Canal. Also, this is another new one. This is another new one that I just got before I started the stream. So there's no 3 trains starting at March 7th, 11:45 p.m. until the morning, so March 8th, 5 a.m. So no 3 trains. You're going to be using the 2, okay, between Franklin Avenue and 135th Street, and then you'll be using the 4 east of Franklin Avenue. Also, between 135th Street and 148th Street, you need the M7 and M102 buses. If there's any more information, it's going to be on Instagram, but this is the information I have so far, including the new ones. And this thing is, I don't know what's going on here. I think it's fixed now. Okay, very good. It happens, but anyway. So that's it for the stream. Yeah, so I know it's a little short. It's 56 minutes. Okay. Usually I do my streams for an hour. And my previous one was, I think, was 100. No, it's more than 2 hours. So anyway, before I go to sleep, I'm gonna send a raid. If I can get this thing going, okay. Ooh. Oh, Final Fantasy Online. Okay. Hitting golf with your. Oh, cosplay Corgi. I met them a long time ago. I tend to go for the ones with the lower amount of viewers. So yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna raid cosplay Corgi. Has a nice dog too. Okay. Cosplay Corgi. All right. This channel is intended for mature. Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay. So, in the words of DJ Nicky Zam, please stay healthy and safe. Y en las palabras de Doctora Maria Polo, he dicho. Boom. Transmisión cerrada. Bye bye. Have a good night.